Hello beautiful people and welcome back to my channel. So I may not be doing no talking because of the way y'all treated me in the last video. I'm just playing because I don't want no problems. I want no smoke with y'all, okay? I am really trying. But yeah, I got my hair curled today because I gotta go out to lunch with a friend and I gotta be focused today, okay? So I can't do too much talking to y'all. I can't. I gotta go. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Got all this wetness in my hair. What my dude Andre 3000 say? Got all this wetness around me. But I'm no island peninsula. Maybe makes no sense. I know crazy. Give up all this pussy. Get this in my lap. No looking back. Spaceships. Girl, that is my shit. Speaking of which, get into the nails. Get into the nails. Girl, I have really been working on my craft, okay? I am coming a long way. I just need to learn how to do damn designs, but I've learned how to do Frenchies and stuff. And you would think that my left hand would be so much better since I'm right-handed, but my right hand always come out better than my damn left hand. But anyway, I learned how to apply the acrylic and stuff, so we making progress around here, you know? I was like, I can't afford to be paying somebody else to do them, because at first it was like $75 for a set, I was like, okay, that's cool. But when it started going up to like 200, 250, 300 a set, I was like, yeah, I'm done with this. I will figure it out myself, because I come from the era of $25 sets. And it was $25 for your feet, so you was paying $50 out the door, and then the $25 included like the airbrush. That's where I come from. So when we started charging extra, like, girl, yeah, no, I will buy the damn material myself. I'll use the first 200 to buy the material myself, and then figure it out, because 200 every 2 weeks, because I don't know how long y'all go in between y'all nails, but I normally go like every 2 weeks. 200 every 2 weeks is ridiculous. 400 on some nails? Girl, never. For $200, they better never ever come off my hand. I don't even remember where I was. I got interrupted. But back to like the little nail techs, hair techs and stuff like that. I've found that I have been forced to kind of learn how to do my own makeup, own hair, you know, stuff like that, on nails, because the prices are just expensive, you know. And I'm not one to say that I feel like your prices are too high. I would never say that, but I do feel as though I can't afford them, you know what I'm saying? And I understand that, like, girl, charge your price. If that's how much it costs, that's how much it costs for your services. I'm not mad at you, because when I was doing people's makeups, my price was my price. You understand what I'm saying? So I would never knock you. This is a little bit of Too Faced concealer, y'all know, but I would never knock you for charging the prices that you charge for your services. Only you know how much you're worth. I am just stating that I can't afford you, okay? It's nothing wrong with me saying I can't afford you. It's nothing wrong with actually saying that things are out of your means. You know, I think a lot of people, especially on social media, they be wanting to flex and, you know, I paid $300 for a bar of soap. You know, and they'd be so excited about that. For me, I'm like, no, I don't care how rich I am. It ain't in the budget, babes. It's not in the budget. So, again, you charge whatever you want to charge. If you pay $200, $300 for your sets, then I'm not mad at you. Do what you got to do. But for Ari, it was way too expensive. And whenever something gets expensive for me, and I still like to have it done, then I figure out a way for me to learn how to do it myself. A lot of the things that I've done, like my hair, my nails, my makeup, everything is pretty much self-taught because it was too expensive. I would love to be pampered and have services rendered to me, but again, it's way too expensive. Child, I just saw the news and they done found them folk that was in a damn submarine. Okay. This is a rich people problem, okay, because nobody broke was on that damn submarine. Rest in peace. You know, you definitely don't wish that on nobody. They said that they probably went quickly because it imploded and then the people in there turned into liquid. Like, you know how bad that damn explosion gotta be for you to turn into some damn liquid? I ain't never heard nothing like that. But they said they turned into some liquid and it went kind of quickly, so they didn't suffer, you know, which is a good thing. But trying to go see the Titanic 12,000 feet below, girl, I'm not getting in 6 feet of water, let alone 12,000. Hey, I'm using my Jaclyn Hill palette because, girl, we just need something simple. Again, I'm rushing. I gotta go. But yeah, I was talking to my friend about that, her and her husband, because they was talking about doing something for his birthday or something like that, and they wanted to get a yacht. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna see y'all when y'all get back. And they like, no, you're going to get on it, you're gonna get no, in the hell I am not. I'm not getting on a damn yacht. I don't play with water. That's not what I do. I don't play with water and I don't play with the friendly skies. And neither one of those things interests me. It's like, number one, girl, I know for a fact that I cannot swim, okay? So if I know that I can't swim, why would I then take my ass on some water? Why would I do that? That would be the most terrifying way to go. Under fucking water? Is you crazy? She like, well, y'all, you're gonna get on there. No, I'm not, babes. I will have a gift waiting for you when you get back on land, okay? Because I'm not getting in fucking water. And they're like, we're gonna be on a boat. It's gonna be fine. I'm pretty sure the people on Titanic thought it was gonna be fine too. We have seen too much occur for y'all to be trying to be out here playing in this damn water. What is wrong with y'all? It's sharks and jellyfish in there. Is you crazy? And then she's like, well, you know, you're not gonna really feel it because you're going to be in the water, whatever. I mean, not in the water, but you're going to be on the boat. Lord have mercy, that was a lot of powder. But you're going to be on the boat, so you're not going to really be able to feel it. Girl, there is nothing for me to look at on the boat besides the fucking water. I'm not getting... Count me out. It's certain shit I just don't want to do. Then she's about she want to go to Bali. I'm all for going to Bali, but then she want to say she don't want to go because I don't want to get in the water. Again, why are we getting in water, especially from places that we're not from? We don't know what the fuck is in this goddamn water. That's how your ankles and shit be ended up jacked up. No, you be having gout and shit because you sticking your toes in places that it do not belong. I don't understand why we can't just... I'll lay on top of water. Give me a floaty. I'll lay on top of 2 feet of water. I'm good with that. As long as I can stand up. The moment it hit right here, like this little area right, it's time for me to go. It's time for me to go. I can't breathe. I can't breathe because it's too high. It's too high. No, I won't be doing it. No. And her husband, he's like, you know, are you a party pooper? Da, da, da. I'll be a freaking party pooper, okay? But I'm gonna be safe. I'm gonna be a safe one. Y'all the ones that is forgetting that y'all black. Like, why are you going out here fucking with shit in the sea? It just doesn't make sense. Leave that stuff alone. What do you need to see in the water? No. I told them, I said, I will do y'all story on 2020 when they want to know what happened. I'll be the one to interview. I could do that for you and let them know that y'all was really good people. But unfortunately, y'all was just a little bit too adventurous and decided to go out there. You know, when I clearly told you not to take your ass out there. And I could only imagine, girl, being in that tight little spaceship. I don't know if y'all seen it. The little submarine thing that they was in. Oh my gosh, girl, I got a problem being in tight spaces now. I got a problem with being around too many people now. So I cannot even imagine being in such a close quarters like that. Then I gotta pee in front of everybody. Like, that's rich people problems that I don't want no parts of. It be times like that I'd be really thankful to be poor, because that's a lot. Anyway, RIP to them people. I hope that it was fairly quick and that nobody suffered, and you know, it was in and out. Oh, I haven't tried this one. Do I want to do gold today? I don't know which color I want to do. I think I've tried Risky Business before. Let me see. I don't think I've tried Striptease. Let's try Striptease in that same palette. We're going to go over the list with that. I'm not cutting my crease because, girl, like I told y'all, I'm rushing today and I got to go. Okay? I got places to be. But yeah, definitely would not. I personally wouldn't do it. Me being out there in the wilderness is not good for me in my life. But I do want to tell y'all about Jill, girl. She loves me. It's special, like different. No, 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 no. The concert was freaking amazing. Like, amazing. The crowd was amazing. Everything about it was just, the energy was right. You know how, like, when you step into certain places, like, the energy don't be right, be a cloud hanging over. Like, no, the energy was so amazing at the Jill Scott concert. The people there, oh God. It was just great. If you have a chance to go see her, please go. Please go. I like a pop of color, so I'm going to use my Juvia Place palette. This one is the Nubian Royal palette. I'm going to use this shade right here. This one. And I'm gonna put that in the corner because, girl, I need something to like spice this up. That looks like too boring. I don't have time for this. I have to go. Okay, I don't know. And then that might be too damn dark. I don't know. We're gonna try to work with it. Okay, all right. I may be able to do something, make something shake with this. I mean, I'm a little nervous that I might not be able to, but we're gonna try to pull it off somehow or another. We're gonna try to pull this off. Pray for me, because right now it's looking very grim. I need to add just like a little bit of purple back here in the back just to kind of offset this a little bit. So I'm going to go back into this palette. Y'all know this is the one we used in the last video. It's the Berries palette by Juvia's. I'm going to take the dark shade because I just want to add just like a little bit back here just to make that a little purple, because I don't know what I'm doing, if I'm being completely honest. But anyway, back to Jill. Jill sounded amazing, girl. Jill's microphone was definitely on, okay? I've really enjoyed her, and I've really enjoyed Jasmine Sullivan. Oh my gosh. Like, it was just the energy in the room. Like, I just thoroughly enjoyed myself. And then to see, like, if I was a dude, I would totally go to any of her concerts to try to pick up women, because there was so many women there. A lot of them were there with their you know, their husbands or whatever, but it was a lot. Like, definitely a good playground. Beautiful women, grown women, sexy. Girl, if I was like that, I'd try to pick up a couple numbers for real. All right, I'm gonna add just like a smidge of the black to the outside. I'm not doing black. Last video I didn't do no black. I was proud of myself, but on this one I got to do just a little bit. Yeah, just to bring that out just a little bit, you know. I feel like look at that, it just made it just pop a little bit more than what it was. Okay, am I 100% satisfied with this makeup? No, but is it something I feel like I could work with? I could work with this shadow. I could do something. I could, you know, that's what I'm telling myself. You know, I feel like if I hype myself up, then I'll start to believe it. But back to Jill. Oh my gosh. And it was a lot of couples in there too. Did I say that already? I don't know if I did. But there were a lot of couples. And it just made me feel like, damn, I want to do that with somebody. You know, that's why I be dating older men, because I feel like young men would not want to do that. But it was such a good time. She was an hour late, you know. I mean, I guess all the greats are. But other than that, it was like, it was really amazing. I would totally buy tickets again. Can we just talk for a second? I'm going in with my NARS. Y'all know my NARS. I was like, do I want to use something else? But no, I use NARS. But can we just talk for a second, y'all? Like, for real, have us some real conversations. Because I feel like I've had the same conversation with like 3 different people in the last month, okay? So, and this applies to any and everybody who is working in corporate America. I know times are very tough. Trust me, I get it, okay? Don't nobody else understand, I know. But let me just tell y'all this, because I had to tell another couple people this as well. If I have learned nothing else by being in corporate America, is that you need to find a job that allows you to have play money, allows you to be able to pay your bills and all of that good jazz, okay? Because for me, and my philosophy of what I've learned in the past probably year and a half, is I'm not going to be working multiple jobs to try to support my lifestyle, okay, or try to pay my bills. That's the biggest thing. It's like, you're not even working multiple jobs so you can live freely. You are working multiple jobs so that you could pay your bills. Like, what sense does that fucking make? My friend told me that the other day. She's like, I'm thinking about picking up another job so I could pay my bills. And I was like, you know, I am totally here for you being responsible and paying your bills, but your first job or your main job should be able to cover all of that. It should be able to cover living expenses. It should be able to cover play money, vacation money, whatever. It should, all of that should be included in your main job. Now, if you just want some more money, then you go out here and get another job. But there's no sense of you working yourself to the bone to try to make sure that you can keep up with bills. Like that, it doesn't make sense. We are allotted a short amount of time on earth, right? And I just feel like I am not going to waste my time. And I used to Uber Eats, I used to do everything, y'all, so I'm right there with you. But I'm not going to waste my time anymore working 18, 19, 20 hours a day just to make sure that I could live. And this is with the bare minimum. This isn't like, you know, expensive fancy shit, just for me to live with the bare minimum and making sure that I can do that. No, your primary job should be able to cover that. And I be trying to tell her, I'm like, you need to hold out. You need to start applying for jobs, and you need to hold out until a job comes around. Oh man, I got that in my hair. Until a job comes around that can pay you what you want. Like when I decided I was going to change jobs, like I literally sat down, came up with an amount that I wanted, and I didn't stop until I got that amount. Like, and it was some jobs that try to be like, oh, okay, well, we can't pay you that, but we can pay you this. And I was like, no, I know that the type of lifestyle I wanted to live, I needed this certain amount. And I'd be trying to tell her, like, you need to sit down, figure out how much it is that you need to have your play money, your vacation money, whatever, you know, and pay your bills and not have to be penny pinching, because life is just, it's too fucking short to be stressed out. You have so many things on your plate that you can be stressed out about. Money should not be one. I'm gonna use a little bit of my NARS today because I don't know, I'm just gonna use a little bit of NARS. But I was talking to this girl, and she was saying that, you know, her job was stressing her out or whatever, and she was thinking about moving to another job. And it was like, she's like, you know, when I get off of work, I still have to do Uber Eats or at the DoorDash in order to make up. And I was like, okay, well, have you sat down and thought about, you know, your next job and how much you want to make at your next job? And she was like, no, I was just gonna see if I could make, you know, maybe like $1 more than what I make here. And I was like, that is insanity. For you to leave this job and only go make $1 more, your experience that you've gained on this job will be able to get you at least, at the very minimum, 30,000 over what you are being paid now. And I think some of us are just very complacent, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I mean that in the sense of we have gotten so comfortable being at our current job, because who likes change? Nobody likes change. Somebody want to move. I get it. But you need to get into a job that is going to pay you more. It doesn't make sense for you to leave for $5 over, you know, what you're currently making. Why? I used to crack jokes at my last job before I left. I used to be like, you know, oh, sorry, just a little elf. I was like, for a little, you know, I done lost my train of thought. I used to say for the right amount of money that I would be able to accept some bullshit. And that's true. For the right amount of money, I would be able to accept some bullshit. For me, it is. I don't know about nobody else. Like, I may accept a, you know, an email, you know, going awry or something like that for the right amount of money. But I was telling her, I was like, girl, so you're going to literally leave this job for $1 over. What is that? An extra, how many hours you work a week? I don't know. I'm salary now. What's that, like $80 a month? No, $80 to $160 a month. You're gonna leave for an extra $160. I don't know about y'all, but $160 ain't gonna make or break me. Okay, that's not. So you going over here for a whole new set of problems, a whole new boss that you don't know, for $1 extra. And then when I said it to her, she was like, oh, okay. I mean, that makes sense. But it's like so many of us that don't know. And we were taught, I don't know about y'all, but I was taught to, you know, that job got benefits, and you don't leave that job because, you know, it got benefits, and benefits was the thing. And now it's like, girl, almost every job got benefits, and if it don't, you can definitely negotiate it into it. It's like, forget them benefits, girl. I'm going where the money reside, all right? Where the money reside. I just be wanting better, and I just working 3-4 jobs at a time, I just don't feel like that's conducive to a healthy lifestyle, you know? And that's why I be trying to tell, like, this one girl asked me if I could do her makeup for her wedding, and I was like, no, you know? And she was like, I just can't believe you don't do makeup anymore. Like, basically trying to shame me for not wanting to do makeup. And it was like, listen, I had to let her know I am at a place in my life where I don't have to scrape and scrounge for pennies. I will. Don't get it twisted. I will. But I don't have to. And that place of just not needing to do things because you don't need the money, that was the worst feeling in the world. Having to do shit because I needed the money, I wasn't really enjoying it. You know, I just had to do it. Like, now, when I don't work, on my little schedule, when I don't work, like, I like to lay back and enjoy my time. Like, I love that for me. Okay, and you and nobody else is gonna make me feel bad about enjoying my time. As I become older, like, my priorities shift, things become more important to me than they were before, and this is one of them. Being able to just enjoy time, you know what I'm saying? Like that, I don't know how to explain it, but time is just so important. Time is some shit you can't get back. And what I don't want to do is, Lord, the way the world is changing nowadays, I ain't speaking it into existence, but I'm just saying, I don't want to end up dying and then I look back on my life and it's like, I didn't do shit but work. That should not be that shouldn't be a way of life for anybody. You know what I'm saying? Just working for the rest of your life. I don't want that. All right, I'm using a little bit of my almond setting powder and I'm gonna go in here instead. I'm gonna be running late messing around with y'all. But I thought that was just, oh my gosh. And it's so crazy how many people have that mentality. And I understand that sometimes circumstances prevent you from getting a better job. But what I am saying is prepare for it. If don't nobody else understand, I understand. Because girl, I came from it. Like sometimes you just gotta wait that shit out. I don't care how good of an offer somebody is offering you. If it ain't the amount that you wanted, do not accept that. Okay, now I understand if it's like 500 or 1,000 off, then I mean, yeah, go ahead, do what you do. But leaving a job to go to another job and deal with unknown bullshit and not get paid for it, it's insane to me. I think that in colleges and stuff like that, they need to host a financial literacy class. Like that should be taught. I know it wasn't taught to me. It was not taught to me. And sometimes you don't be wanting better for yourself because you don't know that it's better out there, you know? Well, let me rephrase that, because it's not that you don't want better for yourself. You don't know that you're able to get better, if that makes sense. This whole being able to go out to dinner and stuff is amazing to me because, girl, 2 years ago, I was not able to do this. Like, my friends would ask me out and I was just not able to go because I knew I had to save for a light bill, or I knew I had, you know, to put this money aside for daycare. Girl, living like that, And then, you know what's so crazy? Oh, I'm looking for my one size, my bad. But you know what's so crazy is that even in my times of struggle, they were telling me that I made too much to get any type of assistance with like food stamps, anything. And it was like, girl, ain't nobody asking you to give me $500 a month, but at least a little good 200, bitch. I know how to make that work. You know what I'm saying? You could give me 200, and they refused to help with anything. My car note was high. Thank the Lord I paid it off. Amen. But my car note was high. Everything, and I just could not get any type of assistance at all, you know? And I think that sucks. Like, I remember, did I tell y'all that? I think I might have told y'all that before, but I remember working with a girl who was like, oh no, I'm not about to accept no promotion, no more money. She had 3 kids. She had 3 fucking kids. She's like, oh no, I'm not accepting no more money because that's gonna mess up my Section 8. Imagine having to live like, that's crazy. I can't accept more money because I'm so afraid that it's going to mess up my Section 8. And without Section 8, I can't live. Like, Jesus, that's a hell of a cycle. That's like being on a fucking payday loan. I did that one time, a payday loan, and it's a never-ending cycle. Do not do that. I'm lying. I did a payday loan twice. The first time I did it, I was, this is why I say financial literacy is so important. They need to teach that shit in high school. I was a bank teller, fresh out of high school, and I had to be like 18, maybe 17, 18, because I graduated when I was 17. But fresh out of high school, oh my goodness, leave that alone, stop. Sorry, my iPad was acting crazy. But graduated, and I was like, I need money. And then somebody at the bank had told me about a freaking payday loan. Why they told me about that shit, I don't know. But I thought it was free money. I thought it was money I'll never have to pay back. So I went, got the payday loan. This was like at a time, my mom was falling out. Like, girl, it was a mess. So I go get the payday loan, and I pay it back. I think I had borrowed like maybe 300. This is a little banana from Makeup Revolution. Y'all know. But I had borrowed maybe like 300, anywhere from $300 to $500 from these payday loan people. And I had signed this paperwork and everything, and I thought it was good. The lady was super sweet, you know, when she was checking me out and everything like that. Came back to pay it back, and she was like, oh no. I thought I paid it off. She was like, no, you owe an additional $200. And I was like, what? And she's like, oh no, the clause says that if you pay it within the first 7 days, then, you know, you only have to pay back what you owe. But if you pay back outside of those 7 days, then you owe more. And I was like, girl, I'm not paying you shit. When I tell you, they harassed me at my job. Like, they would call my job all the time. I was like, I didn't know that you're supposed to get fake information at the time. I wasn't a scammer. Wasn't a scammer at the time, but I was like, this is insane. Never again. And then the other time, I feel like, yeah, I was low money. I was working at Dairy Queen. This is when I had a fall from grace. Oh my gosh, I had the most humbling experience. And this is why I say God will humble the shit out of you if you get too motherfucking cocky, okay? He will humble your ass. And I had been working at this corporate office, and it was okay. You know, at the time I was probably making like $13-14 an hour. At the time, that was a lot of money because, you know, things have changed, inflation and stuff. I think my rent was probably only like $500, so I was having extra money and things were good. And I got too fucking cocky, and I quit. I quit because I was immature, if I'm being completely honest. I was immature, didn't know how to handle social situations in corporate America, because the way that you handle things outside of corporate America and the way that you handle things inside of corporate America are two totally different things. I was hot-headed, I was young, and I told y'all, based on like my past, like let somebody get fucking slick. Girl, better watch yourself. And that was the way that I handled shit, you know. You get slick, like, I'm gonna say whatever I gotta say, and bitch, don't get it twisted. I will walk out this motherfucking job now. Girl, I had walked out on maybe like 4 other jobs prior to that, and this one, God was like, I'm sick of fucking talking to your ass. Like, tired of having this conversation with you. I remember when I told y'all I had the whole Makeup Revolution baking powder system. I had got it back in the day. This shade right here is in the shade Topaz. I don't know if they still carry this one. I have not seen this one in the store, so I don't know. But then again, I only go to Target. I don't go to Ulta. You know, at Target, they don't carry all the black women shades. But I'm going to try to, you know, brighten up this little part with that, just to see. I probably should not be trying something new, especially when I'm going out, but whatever. So anyway, I wound up quitting this job, and then I wound up having the hardest time of my life trying to find another job in the same field, right? So bills were getting due, bills are piling up, girl. They piling. And I remember having my social worker, I can't remember, not a social worker. What's the people? Is they social workers? People that work at the food stamp office? She was like, look, girl, okay, we didn't try to get you another job. You done quit. So you got 30 days because there was no reason for you to fucking quit this job. You just fucking quit because you was tired of their shit. You know what I'm saying? So she's like, you got 30 days to get another job, or we cutting off your benefits. So I'm like, oh gosh. Okay, so I'm talking about for like the last 30 days, I'm looking. I can't find no other job. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I can't risk my benefits and me not having no job. Girl, that time was horrible because I couldn't even pay my rent. And I remember it was this place out here in Texas called the Ministries of something. My mother had told me about them. Like, my mother was a scam artist. She didn't tell me everything, but she's like, you apply for them to pay your rent and they'll pay it. Well, girl, they didn't tell me that if you missed their call that they was not gonna pay it. So I had missed their call because my son was in the hospital. At this time, my kids were getting sick like every week. I'm not even joking. And it was hard for me to work anyway because every other day they were fucking sick. You know how kids get sick because they got to build up their immune system or whatever. So every other damn day, I felt like my children were sick all the time. So I was always in the hospital with them because I didn't know what the hell was going on. And you know, your first kids, you like, oh, they gotta go to the hospital. Your second kids, you like, girl, take this penicillin, you'll be all right, you know. So I was in the hospital and they call, you know, if you know about hospitals, then sometimes you don't get reception. So I didn't get reception when they called, and I didn't get it until after, like, I had walked out into the lobby for something, and then the call came through and it said that I missed them. So I tried to call them back. And be like, you know, hey, I was in the hospital. And they were like, oh no. I remember the lady being so fucking rude. You stupid bitch. To this day, if I see you, I'm gonna smack a spark out your ass. I'm sorry, I've changed my ways. But I remember like just being on my last, girl, my fucking last, and this bitch being so fucking rude. And it was around the corner from the hospital. So it's in Arlington. If I could think of the name of that place, I will. Arlington Ministry, something like that. But if I could think of the name of that place, I will let y'all know. So I drive around the corner to see like, hey, I'm here. I'm sorry I missed your call. My son was in the hospital. There's paperwork that is in the hospital. This bitch said, if you don't get out of my office, I am calling the cops. You missed your opportunity. And this is why I do not like to depend on nobody. And I really don't like when motherfuckers feel like they have your fate in their hands, because the same thing happened at the little daycare. Them people would talk to you, like sometimes when you get daycare assistants, them people would talk to you fucking crazy. And I remember having to tell this lady, listen, bitch, and I called her a bitch too, because she was bitchy every time I talked to her. I said, listen, you ain't gotta talk down on me. Not everybody is trying to get over on the fucking system. Every time I fucking talk to you, you talk to me like I'm fucking stupid. You have been desensitized based on what other people have done. I've done nothing but try to work my ass off to get the fuck off of this assistance, and every time I call in here, you talk to me like you ain't got no fucking sense. I remember cussing that lady out, because why are you talking down on me, bitch, when I'm simply asking you? I don't have $300. I just started making money. I don't have $400, $500 to pay on fucking daycare. While you only pay $200 of it. I don't have that. Why are you giving me the bulk? So I'm talking like, I'm scraping like that time in my life. My God, I thank God every day that I was able to make it through. But that time in my life was so fucking hard. Like, we were eating ramen noodles. Thank God my kids were on WIC and they were able to eat. But it was times that I went to bed hungry because I didn't have no money for having to show out. The system is so fucking broken. The system is so fucking broken. And then when you look around and you see other people riding around in Escalades and these bitches is living it up, you know what I'm saying? You get angry like, bitch, I'm out here really trying. You motherfuckers is making it hard on me. But the bitch that laid on her back and had 8, 9, 10 kids and don't never want to have no fucking job, you give her the fucking world. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, that time, my gosh, I done got so off track. I gotta reel it back in. I gotta reel it back in because I'm getting emotional. Because I'm getting emotional just thinking about the way people treated me, not knowing that I was actually fucking trying. You see what I'm saying? Like, I was really fucking trying and you treated me like shit. Anyway, I lose this job. And the lady was like, you got 30 days to find another job. And so time is dwindling down. Girl, I gotta pay my rent. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to just go ahead and apply at Dairy Queen, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A. You know what I'm saying? Even though my experience is so much higher. That's why I say God will humble you in ways that you never thought possible. Don't get too cocky, baby. Don't get too cocky and think that the world is yours. Because what you have today will be gone tomorrow. I went from, you know, like not living it up, but being able to pay my bills to having to scrape by. I remember because my checks were only like $500. So, and my bills at the time equated to 500 plus more, you know what I'm saying? My rent was like 5 something. So I remember having to take like 200 from one paycheck and just make sure it sat in the bank so we could cover the rent. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, when I tell y'all I learned how to budget, then like spending money on frivolous shit was just not worth it. Cause I remember blowing my whole first tax return, girl. I remember blowing that shit. And then after that happened, I remember I didn't touch my tax returns, you know what I'm saying? But I think it also has to be like the people around you too, because my mother never told me to save my tax returns. My mother never taught me any of that. Hell, I remember my mother I remember saying, fucking job, I'm struggling. I'm trying to, you know, figure this out. And I remember her coming to me and saying, I need some money. And I remember like, okay, well, I got my $500 saved for my rent. You know, and I used to just hold it into my account until the first came and then I would pay it. But I remember like, okay, I have that in my account. And she's like, well, I really need that money. I'm thinking it's an emergency. And I'm like, although I'm going to be without, I don't want her to be without. So I gave her the money. And I remember her pulling up with a brand new fucking car. Bitch, that's my rent money. I'm not going to have a place to stay. My kids are not going to have a place to lay their head. Your grandkids are not going to have a place to lay their head. And you go get a brand new fucking car. And she's such a fucking narcissist that I remember her saying, I'm going to pay you back. I'm going to pay you back. What you tripping for? I'm going to pay you back. I'm tripping because you could have waited until your next paycheck hit to go and get that fucking car. You could have fucking waited. Bitch, I can't wait on my fucking rent because I get late fees. But I couldn't be upset. I couldn't be upset. I wasn't allowed to be upset because it was like, well, what you tripping for? I said, I'm going to pay you back. She never understood the severity of any situation. I remember my mother, like when we stayed in Orville, I remember my mother spending our rent money on a fucking ferret. On a ferret, the animal, a ferret. So you imagine growing up with that much unstableness and still trying to be normal. Like, I didn't know anything about financial literacy. All I knew was to blow the money. And I know they say that a lot, like that money blowing a hole in your pocket, bitch. It was damn sure blowing a hole in my pocket, okay? So what was I saying? I done got so off track. Girl, these story times gotta stop, because y'all, you taking me back. I remember it being such a fall from grace. Girl, I remember when I had quit that job and then I started working at Dairy Queen, this guy I used to work with, I think his name was John. He pulled up and I was like, oh my gosh, being so embarrassed, because I used to work the drive-thru. At what, my big ass age, I'm working at damn Dairy Queen. You know what I'm saying? And not in a manager role. Nigga, I'm getting paid like $8.50 an hour, you know, like cheap shit. And I remember him pulling up and me being so embarrassed, like, my God, what a fall from grace, honey. Nothing is, I'm telling you, don't get too cocky, okay? Because what you have today can be gone tomorrow. God will humble you, okay? You will eat some humble pie if you get too cocky. And I'm up here with my grown ass working at Dairy Queen with a bunch of fucking teenagers, and they was messy and it was just a lot. Anyway, back to the title loan thing. So then the next time I took a loan out, I took a title loan because I needed to get my car fixed. I had a cash car. I had, what was it, a Mitsubishi Galant, I think it was. No, it was a truck, something, Outlander. It was an Outlander, a white Mitsubishi Outlander I had, and I had to get it fixed because the transmission went out on it. I didn't have no money. Again, I'm working at Dairy Queen, girl. I ain't got no savings. I don't have no savings. I don't have nothing. So I had to get it fixed. So the only way to get it fixed was to take out a title loan, and they told me I could pay, I think, like $100 a month. Again, with the fine print, girl, you pay $100 a month, but you know, you borrow $500 today and you wind up paying $6,000 back. So I went up there to pay the money back, and they were like, oh no, it's $100 plus interest, you know? So I made like the first couple payments, and then I wound up getting into a car accident, totaled the car out before I could pay. Girl, I done been through some shit. Totaled the car out before I could pay another one. So then I didn't have no car. They were trying to sue me. It was a whole, like, that time my life was so fucking rough. Like, I thank God. Some of the shit you go through, I don't care what it is, learn from it. I don't care if it brings you to your knees, learn from it. While you're in the midst of going through that, you thank God and understand that there is a lesson in this. And I always tell myself this, even now, when shit becomes like really rough for you and it gets so hard for you, there's a blessing around the corner. You are, oh, I'm getting teary-eyed. Shit. You are in the midst of a blessing when you go through so much shit. Sometimes you gotta go through shit, but you are in the midst of a blessing. So don't give up yet. Oh, shit, y'all got me crying. Don't give up yet, okay? Don't give up yet. That's all I got, girl, to wipe my eyes. Don't give up yet, okay? Because when you go through the most shit, the blessings on the other side, some shit you can't even see. Your name is being brought up in rooms that you don't even know about. Just keep going. Just keep fighting, okay? Just keep fighting. And I thank God that attempt on my life, because I did try to attempt, because I was tired, man. I was scared. I was tired to have nobody. My mom wasn't in my corner. You know, it was just a lot. And so I had an attempt, you know, where I tried to take myself out. And that's another thing. Like, my mother ain't shit. As much as I would love to have a loving relationship with my mother not shit. The attempt on my life, I remember calling her because she had my kids at the time. This was after I got into the accident. She had my kids, and I, you know, was just telling her, like, I love you, and make sure they know that I love them too. And this was never because of them, you know, it's just a lot on me. And I remember her saying, well, you better get your ass up to the hospital, because I'm not doing none of that shit. And she hung up. And I remember maybe like a couple months later, one of her friends, I guess a young chick that she knew, tried to commit, you know, and she went to the hospital with flowers for her. She took this girl flowers. and said to me, well, you know, she don't have nobody else and I want to be there for her. But you didn't want to be there for your own daughter. Jesus. I don't know why I am sharing all of this. I'm not sure if somebody needs to hear it. I don't even know, because I really don't talk about it. So the fact that I'm sharing all of this, like, something going on. What the hell wrong with me? I need to schedule my damn therapy session this week. Shit. Call my damn therapist, bitch. I need to meet with you ASAP. Shit. We need to schedule this appointment ASAP, okay? But yeah, my mom, she took me through a lot. After the car accident, I started to work at Walmart again because I didn't have transportation, and where I lived, Walmart was like right down the street. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna work at Walmart for a little bit. Worked at Walmart, and then I had her take custody of my kids, and then she was like, well, I know you're getting food stamps, so you need to send that shit over here. Now, mind you, she got my grown ass stepdad staying there, my grown ass aunt staying there, the aunt that her son essayed me, and she walked in on her son essaying me, her and my grandmother, which is why I told you my family is very fucked up and they just never talked about it. So when I finally said something because her son wanted to essay somebody else in our family that was a 3-year-old, I finally came out and said what he did to me. We fell out with the family. The family said, well, even if it happened, you shouldn't be talking about it. Like, what the fuck you mean? This nigga's still coming around. Anyway, my mother decided, oh, well, I don't believe that happened. So you allowed this lady who walked in with my grandmother and seen her son essaying me. You allowed her to come down here and stay and be around my kids. So I had a fucking problem with it. But it wasn't too much that I could fucking do because I didn't have a way to provide for my kids. So you got my stepdad staying there. You have her staying there. You have my youngest brother who is 18 years younger than me. You have him staying there. But he has Down syndrome, so you have him staying there and you mean to tell me that 3 adults staying in one fucking household cannot support yourselves enough to come up with food? So you wanted to use my food stamps, and when she said she wanted to use my food stamps, I thought that she was gonna leave at least $100 for me to still eat. This bitch used it all. Every last fucking drop, and left me high and dry. Food in your house left me high and fucking dry. Not even $5 for me to get a fucking Lunchable. Left me high and fucking dry. That's why I tell y'all, like, I'm not saying that it's easy to let go of a parent, because God knows that I stayed around and I endured as much as I could. I'm not telling you that it's easy, but I am telling you that if it's no longer conducive to you and the way that you are living your life and what you want for your life, I don't care how bad it hurt. Because I'm telling you, so many nights I cry. Like, y'all see me get emotional now because it's hard not to have a mother. It's hard not to have a father. I'm not going to lie to you and say it's not. As much as I try to laugh that shit off, it'd be funny because you got to laugh through the trauma. But it's hard. She had done too much. She had done too much, and I was tired of it. I think the final straw is she was always jealous. Lord, I'm just talking away, Jesus, today. My ass is gonna be late. She'll be alright. But she was always, I felt like, and I know that's like hard to say for me, but I felt like my mother was always jealous of me, which is weird because I came from you. You know what I'm saying? I think my mother always hated my guts. I remember her saying, because, you know, my brother doesn't talk to her. Well, he didn't talk to her. I don't know if they still talk. I haven't talked to my mother in 6 years. But he didn't talk to her. And I remember her saying, I had a boy to replace a boy and I'll have a girl to replace a girl. Like, who the fuck? I don't care how mad you get at your kid. Who says that? Who the fuck says that? Calling me bitches. Like, who says that? But anyway, and I always refer back to, well, I did refer back to the Bible verse of honoring thy mother and thy father. And that was why I always dealt with the abuse, because I'm like, I want to get into heaven. You know what I'm saying? As crazy as that shit sounds, I want to get into heaven, you know? And I felt like, yeah, you had a kid out of wedlock, but as long as you honor your mother and your father. And so I kept going back, you know what I'm saying, for more abuse, and the abuse kept getting worse. But anyway, during this time, I remember for my birthday, I think I might have been 25, maybe 2017. Yeah, so what, I don't know how old I was in 2017. Girl, I ain't good at math. But in 2017, the only thing that I wanted after me, you know, working so hard, and I had to quit Walmart. Let me go back first. I had to quit Walmart because she decided that she wanted to work and make me a damn live-in nanny. So she didn't want to pay for daycare for my brother. And all she wanted to do was work. So I stopped working at Walmart. The agreement was that I was going to work nights. She was going to work days. So she would have the kids in the day. Because, again, my brother's young. So she would have the kids in the day. I mean, I would have the kids in the day. She would have them at night. So that kind of stopped because she stopped giving me her car to get to work. So then she was the only one working. She would go out to eat and would get shit else for nobody else. There ain't no food in the house because I wasn't getting food stamps. Because I wasn't working. So everything had been cut off. So here I am, no job or whatever. And I remember telling her, like, this is where I transitioned into the shelter, because I felt like the shelter was better than staying with my mother. Ooh. Ooh. Y'all ain't hear what I said. The shelter was better than staying with my mother. Oh, that is insane. That is fucking insane to say. The shelter is better than staying with your own mother. My God. I'm sorry, I caught myself off guard when I said that. Shit. Sometimes when you verbalize stuff, when you verbalize it, it makes it real. Like, although I felt that way, hearing myself say it is like, whoa. Whoa. Yeah, therapy session gotta be immediately this week. I keep on flustering with this damn lash, y'all, because I didn't talk too damn much. But then once I left the shelter, because it was a lot. I think the men in there were very predatory, and it was just a lot. Like, I felt like I was safer in my car. So I slept in my car, and I'm telling you, like, I would drop my kids off in fucking daycare and then go get changed in a Walmart bathroom. I would use the soaps and stuff like that. Like, it was very traumatic. And then I would still get my ass up, go to work like nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? It was even to the point, like, once I got close to some of the people there, they was like, girl, I never knew. And you wasn't supposed to know. And I remember having this conversation, and this is why I tell y'all to sometimes be careful when you're talking to people, because you never know when you're entertaining an angel. I'm not saying that I'm an angel, but you just never know, right? So I remember talking to this guy, and he was like, I can't stand homeless people. They don't ever, do anything, and they don't want anything for their life, and, all this extra shit. And I remember looking at him and being like, you don't even know you talking to somebody homeless. You never know what the fuck somebody's going through while you sitting over here being judgmental. Bitch, I ain't got no house because I got an eviction on my record and I just started working again. And you got to have 3 months pay stubs. So once the 3 months hit, then I'll be able to go ahead and, get a house. So it ain't like I don't want a house because I don't want a house, bitch. It's other circumstances, but I never said that to him. But I was just like, so imagine hearing that. You're homeless because you want to be homeless. Like, you don't know what the fuck somebody's story is while you over here judging. And that's why I tell y'all, like, on this channel, say what you want to say, but don't leave it in my comments, bitch. Because what we don't do over here is we don't judge. We don't judge. Because if somebody was to judge me, shit, I'm not worthy of nothing. Because I done been through a hell of a lot. Okay, so I'm the last person to throw a stone. And if you live in a glass house, most of us do, you should not be throwing fucking stones. You just shouldn't be, Stop judging people. You don't know what the fuck they've been through. And just because everybody not out here with a sign on their forehead letting you know everything they've been through don't mean that they not worthy of love. Like, just that shit. That's why I'm like, I don't care if you strip at night. I don't care if you do whatever. I don't care, because I've been through so much shit. You know what I'm saying? And if you really knew the real me, you wouldn't like me. You wouldn't like me because you're so fucking prejudiced. You're so prejudiced about homeless people, about people who have kids out of wedlock. You are so judgmental that if you really knew who the fuck I was, you wouldn't give a fuck about me. That's why I'm like, don't judge people. Let people live their life. Oh, y'all, we gotta wrap this shit up. Anyway, so in 2017, after I had got my apartment or whatever, I had to do second chance housing, all of that. So after I had got my apartment, I decided, and this wasn't even like that year. I think this was the following year, right? So I was like, I had been through enough. I had been homeless. I hadn't been through enough. I need to reward myself. So I was like, the only thing that I wanted was a car fresh off the lot. That was the only thing I wanted. And I had built my credit score up. That was the only thing that I wanted. Where's my brush? Hold on, let me find my brush. Okay, so once I had got back on my feet, I'm gonna use a little bit of NARS, my C front. There you go. I always get it wrong. But once I had got back on my feet, I decided I wanted to show my mom my success, you know, and try to work things out again, because honor thy mother and thy father. So I allowed her back in my life and in my kids' life. And then, you know, I was telling her, you know, I really wanted to buy this car. And my mother was like, no, you don't need to buy no car. It's going to be a gas guzzler. Da, 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 da. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. Or whatever. Don't do it. Don't buy a car. Don't buy a car. So I'm like, again, this is something that I want to do for myself. And at this time, at that point in my life, I had realized, like, I had really let my mother dictate a lot in my life. And we can go into that into details in another video. But as far as even coming to Texas, I had let my mother scare me into coming to Texas and leaving my baby daddy, because he's not going to be there for you. Then I can't send for you and the kids and all this other stuff. So I was like, I'm not going to let her dictate whether or not I buy this car. Like, I had saved up for it. I had been around people who were saving, and you know, they taught me how to save, and you know, it was just it was a good decision. So I decided to buy this car. Oh my goodness, what the hell going on? My face was dry. Yep. So I buy the car and I pull up to go my mom's house, get my kids, and immediately she gets in the car and she's like, oh, I like this. I'm feeling this. Like, I want one for myself. The very next day, she goes up to the same lot, deals with the same person, and gets the exact same car as I do, but in a different color. Now, mind you, you just finished talking shit about my car, but then you go and get the same one. You can't even allow me to have my own moment without you feeling, and this is the kicker. She was already behind on her current car. You're already behind on your current car, and you decide to go get the same car as me because you can't let me one up you. That's what I'm saying. Like, when I think of cutting ties, like, I don't have no remorse of cutting ties with her. I don't, because I dealt with way too much shit, and that's not even half of it. I dealt with way too much shit when it came to her. I'm gonna use a little bit of my e.l.f. finishing powder just to go under my eyes, finish that out. But yeah, when I tell people that I haven't spoken to my mother in years, they always be like, how could you just not speak to your mother? And it's like, y'all don't really fully understand what the fuck I went through with this lady. Even after 6 years, I just now started talking about this. Like, it's always been of me trying to protect her, and she ain't never protected me. And I'm done. I don't think that it could be worked out. I don't. You know? I think with me not talking about it, I think I always kind of hope that she would see how she did me, and maybe we could talk about it, and it just never happened. This is a little beauty bakery, and once again, I'm not saying that I am perfect, because God knows I am not. Okay, I definitely have my flaws, but not to warrant the way that I was treated. Definitely not. So if anybody is out there having issues with their mother, then I say, if you decide in your heart of hearts, I'm never gonna push people to stop talking to their parents, because it's not fun. It's not, you know, like, who wants to stop talking to their parent? I know I didn't. So I'm never going to push you to stop talking to your parent. My face is so dry. My nose is. I go through spouts of my nose being dry, but it's dry. Whatever. But I'm never going to push you to not talk to your parent, because I think it's important for you to have your parents. What I am going to say is that you'll know when you've had enough. You know? You'll know when you've had enough, and when you're tired of being the punching bag. And you got to do what's best for you. Mother, sister, cousin, friend, auntie, grandma, anybody. You have to do what's best for you. And is it hard? Hell yeah. Especially around holidays, you know. But I am a firm believer that we cannot choose our bloodline. So I can't choose who I'm related to, but I can choose my family. And I've done that over the past 6 years, and I'm happy with my little circle. So I'm using a little bit of my Morphe setting spray. I feel like my eyelash is coming up. I don't know. Girl, and then guess what? I done got me a fan. I've been had this fan, but I finally charged it. Fucking dry. Look at me. Look at me go. Look at me being innovative over here. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go in with some MAC Cosmetics. and line my lips. Child, I am running Uber late. I had to tell my friend, girl, I'm be late. Give me a second. Well, her ass gonna be late too, so I don't even know why I'm rushing. And I may not be the best messenger for this, y'all, but you know, for whatever reason, y'all love me and I love y'all. You know, I feel like I got me a little family. Y'all be leaving me the messages in the comments, and girl, I'm a thug, so I ain't gonna cry, but I do be crying. I be like, damn, y'all be really touching me. Just to see the outpouring of love and stuff, something that I didn't have. I think it's amazing for me to get online and see people, you know? So I appreciate each and every one of you guys, because I feel like without you, I probably wouldn't keep making content, you know? Shit, I don't even know what to be talking about. Sometimes Jesus be using me as a vessel, and it just come through me, you know? It just, boom. And whoever need to hear it, and it hits you. But I don't even know how we got on this conversation today, but it happened. All right, I'm gonna use a little bit of my Juvia's Nubian Sand, because girl, it's a Juvia's day. It's a Juvia's day, and I gotta hurry up. So hopefully y'all got something from the video. You know, as always, I love you. I'm not done. I'm gonna come back at the end, you know. But again, my messages in these videos, I don't even know. I just get on here and I be talking. Guess what I found? I found on YouTube they done came out with a podcast feature. But I'm trying to debate on whether or not I want to separate my videos, like my makeup videos, from the podcast. But see, my issue is I have to be doing something with my hands, and I have to know when to end, because if I don't have nothing going on and I just talk, girl, the conversations that would be had will probably be insane, and they will probably be long as hell. So I have to figure that part out. I'm not really sure how we gonna do it. We may not do it, but I'm thinking about it. Because I understand people come here for the makeup and you just be wanting the makeup. You don't want a whole message. I get it. But I'm not sure what I would do with my hand. I'm trying to decide if I want to use this shade, which is Barely There by Juvia's. Oh, it's a Juvia's Day. Fuck it. We're going to use it. Let's use that. Alright, girl, this is it, okay? This has been a hell of a damn video. It's been a roller coaster ride. We talked about so much shit today. I didn't know we were going to talk about that. Literally, when I sit down, y'all, I do not be knowing what we're going to talk about. Like I said, I just let the spirit take over. Whatever they want to talk about, they want to talk about, okay? So, that's it. I'm getting emotional because I really do appreciate you guys so much for being my family, away from family, and just being so supportive. I was going through, I'm about to get emotional, shit, I'm about to cry. I was going through my messages, my DMs, because I told you I never go through them. I need some tissue. I'm sorry. I was going through those messages, and just to see the outpouring, oh my gosh, y'all, like I'm about to cry. I'm gonna have to use my little bandana, my little headband right here, you know, just get the corners. But just going through the messages and just seeing how much love and support, and y'all telling me, like, you know, your stories really helped me kind of deal with what I was dealing with. Like, it just made me feel so good, y'all. It really warmed my heart. I'm a thug at the end of the day, bitch. I'm a thug, so don't judge me. Don't judge me. Hold on, let me get myself together. Hang on, because I'm crying. I think we're good. Not really, but we're a little bit better. But just going through and just seeing those comments, like, they mean the world to me, okay? So I just want to let y'all know that I never take y'all for granted, and it's never unnoticed, the support that y'all give. I really do appreciate y'all, and I just want to let y'all know, like, if we don't never grow outside of this, like, if we don't never grow past, you know, whatever number we sitting at right now, I just want to let y'all know, like, I love the shit out of y'all. I really do. I feel like, girl, stop crying, shit. I'm running my makeup before I gotta go. But I really do feel like you guys have become a family to me, and just how much y'all support me. And it just really hit me like a ton of bricks, like I said, just kind of going through those messages and just seeing those. And it was like I wasn't trying to ignore y'all, and I responded to as many as I could. But I really do care about y'all. I really do, and that shit means a lot, and it hit home. And just to know that I have supporters out there, it means a lot to me. So I appreciate you guys. And another thing for anybody that is new here, we don't judge over here, so you could let loose in the comments. And I know I've seen sometimes people tell the stories in the comments, and although I wasn't able to respond, other people were able to respond. So I feel like we've built like a nice little community and a sisterhood over here, and that's all I could ever ask for. So I appreciate y'all. Y'all got a thug crying out here in this bitch. I'm strong. I'm a thug. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys so much. And I absolutely love y'all, man. I love y'all. And I think we're going to end out this one right here because a bitch is teary-eyed. I think a bitch about to start her period or something. God damn. But you know what I think it is? I think it's honestly just never having or never feeling like I had so much love and support that I get from you guys. Even when I know my shit be crazy looking, y'all still be there. Y'all still be there and y'all still be supporting me. And to me, that just, it means a lot. Like, y'all don't understand. So I appreciate y'all taking the time out of y'all day to even sit through my stories. Oh my gosh, shit, man. I can't even fucking talk. Y'all know when I be talking about my emotions, I be getting hurt, you know? So I appreciate y'all even taking the time to just sit through my stories and just listen, you know? And resonate with them and just be here. You know, that shit mean a lot to me. So that's it, because I gotta go cry my fucking eyes out. But I love the shit out of y'all, alright?